What is poppin', everybody? I bet you some of you are surprised by this. I'll be covering Raiden. How strong is Raiden from the Metal Gear Solid series? This is basically a cyborg ninja that has ridiculous combat speed, lifting strength, strength in general, striking strength, speed, reflexes, ridiculously overpowered gear, and all that crazy stuff. But he wasn't always this overpowered. He was actually a human. He actually resides in the same universe with beings like Solid Snake, for example. Yeah, that's kind of hard to believe considering how strong this guy is. That's what happens when you're a cyborg, right? But before I go any farther, appreciate the love, helps out a lot. People that have donated to the channel. As a young boy, this guy known as Jack lived in a violent Liberian civil war and was orphaned at a young age by Solid Snake, who raised him in his own, blah, 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 to become a killing machine, a child soldier who gained the title of Jack the Ripper, let her rip. Also known as the White Devil, making quite a name for himself, eventually taken to the United States. There's a lot of politics stuff in this stuff. Play the game yourself. I actually own Metal Gear Rising, the video game. Please play this. It's a really great action adventure game. Combos, nice slow-mo action. Get an idea to see how strong he is too. You know what I'm saying? I do other video game characters on the channel as well, so make sure you check out those other videos and just have a marathon through the channel and see what you like. But without wasting any more time, let's get it. Before we go any further, let's get on to his standard gear. You got the high frequency blade. Let me read this for you word for word right quick. Its metallic structure strengthened by an alternating current. This blade resonates such that it weakens the particular bonds of whatever it cuts. Its effectiveness is further boosted in blade mode, which consumes energy but enables high-speed attacks customized by Doctor to absorb fuel cell electrolytes from its victim. So it's kind of like a hex. It breaks down the molecules along with the person or wielder like Raiden being ridiculously strong. And he has this thing known as the skull suit. Later on in the video, I'm going to go over this a lot more, but he has this thing called the high frequency blade, Murasama blade. This is very ironic because Wolverine and Raiden actually had a death battle, and the name Murasama actually exists in Marvel Comics as well. And it's weird that death battle explained how this sword would actually beat Wolverine, right? And in Marvel, this sword, the Murasama sword, can nullify healing factors in Marvel Comics. So that's kind of weird that Metal Gear kind of named their sword something like that. I mean, you know what I mean? That's kind of cool, right? I'm totally sure they wasn't thinking of Wolverine or Marvel Comics when they did this, but who really knows, right? High frequency Murasama blade, a notorious blade passed down through generations of the Rogrees family. Sam had it modified into a high frequency blade, enhancing the already astonishing properties of the original metal and giving it an ominous crimson glow. An explosive charge housed in the scarab enables a lightning quick draw. Surprisingly, even when he was a human before being a cyborg, check this out. He's like a Marvel character or a DC character when it comes to combat speed, having enough reaction time to be fast enough to be able to block bullets even as a human. Reminds me of comic book characters. Ain't that crazy? You should be able to deflect, even states here, a bullet or two. Pretty agile. Like, very agile. He's a marksman. He can hit headshots from far away, even as a human. By the age of 10, he led a platoon of child soldiers. So yeah, he's got a lot of experience without even being a cyborg ninja yet. Like just straight skill, tagging fools with their guns and skills without even needing the sword. It's important to get an idea of how strong the people in their verse are. This guy, Solidus Snake, is able to casually block bullets with his reaction time, right? And is skilled with a blade like very, very fast, right? He's able to defeat Solid Snake in raw skills, showing that he has speed comparable to this guy that can block bullets with ease from like Gatling guns and stuff before being a cyborg, y'all. So ridiculous combat speed already. It's hard to even read this guy's muscles. He states that human muscles are quite eloquent. They speak out clearly what a person's next move will be. They even tell me which way the gun is going to be pointed. before the trigger is pulled, but your muscles, they're different, he says. So somebody that can like copy fighting styles and read muscle movement might have some issues with Raiden, but who knows, right? If you want to get a mental picture or a visual look at how Raiden's evolution looked, this is how it basically looks. Human, not human, even more powerful version of the cyborg. So he had like a different evolution. And the whole reason he even had to get the final form, the form that's always on the right, is because of his fight with Jetstream Sam. He actually took a legit L. Sam cheated because he had the high frequency blade, the Murasama. Let me stop.
Your technique lacks something. It's over.
So yeah, he was basically forced to get a new body, new and improved body, way stronger than he was previously, and yeah, you get the point. Now we're about to get into the over-the-top stuff and insane stuff. You ready? Cyborg time. This is basically like a mech montage, what I'm about to show you, like him fighting different sized mechs. They're ridiculously sized too. Metal Gear Excelsius, Water Strider, Grad, Raptor, Blade Wolf. And this gives you more lore and an idea of what this video is about to show. He's literally be able to fight multiple different mech size, building size things, and able to slice them up, overpower them, and etc. Don't believe me? This was in Metal Gear Solid 4. You get to see some combat and skills here. Cuts off this being's leg. At this point, he's strong enough to do ludicrous stuff, like literally break dancing, freaking giant looking robot stuff. Like really though, like that's really over the top. That type of strength. It's just casual, so what is the limit, right? Are you kidding me? You're gonna see a lot of this in this video. This big swing that he blocks with just his raw strength. He has that much strength, stops it like raw power, right? Not only does he toss this big crap right here, raw strength, this junk looks building sized already. And he tosses it and it goes airborne, jumps on top of it, slices it up with that speed, and slices it in half like that. That level of power. So this big stuff ain't messing around. He does it again. This big mech, building size mech again, slices it right down the middle. Raw freaking power. As you can see. He was able to cut off the arm of a Metal Gear Ray like that. Clean through it. You can see it's not hollow, it's solid. This big old bull crap about to crush Snake, as you can see. And by the way, what if I told you he was suppressed doing this? No arm stopping this big old, this thing was known as Outer Heaven. He's several past the speed of Supersonic when it comes to raw travel speed and just reflexes in general. Playing hopscotch on top of missiles while they're mid-flight makes them seem like they're slow motion in the process. I absolutely love his combat speed. Like he slices stuff so fast in real time, it looks like he only sliced once. You see what I'm saying? It looked like he sliced once. All that got sliced up. Like, he is so agile. He's fighting multiple geckos, these little like mechs, like always. Like I showed you a picture of different size ones. Like he's just slicing these things up with ease. He's able to fight people that are comparable to him or enhanced. Like for example, this dude Vamp, blocking attacks from him. Got to give somebody for him to fight, right? Slice, slice. He blitzes 3 geckos in like literally less than a second. Like you can't even perceive it happening in real time. He's too fast. He's like a blur. He's fast enough to run up walls with his speed. Massively faster than I can see. He can catch up to trains. Good stuff. And what if I told you he's able to block assault rifle bullets from like every direction while he's in the middle of running? Blocks cannon rounds from this Ray, this big old Ray mech. Like I'm telling you, he's fighting giant mechs the whole game. I'm going back to Vamp. He's fast enough and skilled enough to fight Vamp one-on-one, using his skills to wait for the right moment to stab it out with Vamp. Ooh yeah, with no arms, I can still take you guys out. I'm just letting you guys know. These little frog soldiers still ain't ready for him with this type of skills, speed, strength, and etc., right? More fuel to the fire, it's implied he can summon lightning, I guess? Like how does that even work? This was Metal Gear Solid 4, epicness. All this stuff is still not him in his best peak condition. That was Metal Gear Solid 4, and now we're back Metal Gear Rising. Again, references to all the different robots. Just giving you a quick reminder right quick. I showed this already though. I swear his blade treats stuff like butter, slices through an aircraft, and can even cut through a roof. Can cut multiple times in slow-mo effect style. There was this metal spear. He cut it in pieces. They had like a lot of different things made of it, like tanks and stuff. You see what I'm saying? All this stuff, he just slicing this stuff up like butter. Call it butter utter. Like, that's insane. Parries, combat speed, etc. This big Excelsius, he cutting through the legs of this big thing during the fight with Armstrong. Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna get to Armstrong in a minute. Yeah, there it is. This big old giant, this thing looks like it's multi-building size. Like he's slicing bits of the legs up like butter, one strike. Keep in mind that Raiden didn't have the high-frequency red blade Murasama in Metal Gear Solid 4. Just giving you a wake-up call for that. That was Metal Gear Rising only. Look, he threw the arm, that much strength. These big mega mechs, like their own version of high-frequency blade, he rips off this blade and then uses the blade itself. Yeah, these big mechs have their own blades. No, literally wielding with a big old junk like this, overpowering it in the process. Like, look how small he is trying to do it. He's wielding a big old blade, his small self. He literally did this. He's this strong, can even pick the freaking thing up. Look how small he is compared to it. If you want to get an idea of how big it is compared to Raiden, you see the structure right here, and here's Raiden over here. Like, he's literally like a little ant compared to the size of this thing. He overpowers something this much massive than him. So if his sword can even hack things by stabbing into it, yeah, that's strange, right? When it comes to raw skill, he's shown many occasions during different battles, fighting different people that are top tier like him, other cyborg level beings like disarming this being, slammed Armstrong in this occasion, countered his like elbow drop here, dodges. He seems to have the raw skill advantage on Armstrong. It's just Armstrong just a brute with raw power. Let's jump to his speed. Like, you see these different striders? He's jumping for them, taking them all out. Like, yeah, he jumps quick. It's like he doesn't even need to know how to fly, really. He can use debris at his footholds if he's just that quick. Like, debris is falling, he uses it. And he does not skip leg day. Like, look at that jump that far. Yeah, another boss. When he goes into blade mode, I'm gonna call it like his perception mode. Like the helicopter blades are moving in slow motion. He's enough to slice up a helicopter as well. In Jack the Ripper mode, like raindrops, like they're even moving in slow motion. Like everything is slow motion. This guy's combat speed is so freaking impressive. Runs up a spinning pillar, like it's literally spinning, but he moves so fast it didn't spin in that time frame. You see what I'm saying? Like watch this. He runs up, run, not spinning. Speed. Literally plays hopscotch with these smaller missiles. Doesn't matter which missile it is. He's too fast for it. Just in raw speed, travel speed, and combat speed. Helicopter blades are in slow motion. Slice it up. Get murked. I say this a lot in my videos, but to get an idea of how strong somebody is, you got to get an idea of the stuff he fights, lifts up. Raiden is one of those people where he has some impressive lifting feats, but striking feats are obviously more important. But at the same time, lifting feats don't just go away if you don't have any striking feats to really measure him up. For example, if he didn't have these impressive striking feats like in this video, we could still get an idea of how strong he is based off his lifting feats. But fortunately, we don't have to go that route because we already have amazing striking feats for him. This dude Raiden was able to lift up a giant mech like the Metal Gear Excelsius that is a 9,000 ton sized mech. And this dude Raiden was able to lift something up that weighs 9,000 tons. That freaking strong, guys. Was able to use one of the high frequency blades from it and wield it with his own blade. Did I forget to mention that he can literally parry anything, even 9,000 ton stuff? That's how much strength he got. This little guy with this little sword, high frequency blade, can do that type of stuff. Like literally parrying anything. Not lying about that. Block or parry everything, really. No matter the size. So yeah, he's stronger than something that is literally 9,000 tons, can more than likely strike with 9,000 tons of force, plus it has feats similar to it as well. So Raiden is like 10,000 ton level more than likely, right? And this is not even his toughest opponent, right? Final boss of the game, Armstrong says, hold my beer. This guy seemed to be stronger than that big old mech because it seemed like he gave him Raiden a lot more hard of a challenge. Armstrong showing plenty of times to be able to take multiple attacks from Raiden and keep on going like the battle isn't even close to being finished. He's definitely a tank. I already told you about his two different modes, normal mode and Jack the Ripper mode. The blade mode, Ripper mode, basically increases his speed. The trick thing about Armstrong is that one can even say that he's even superior to Raiden before Raiden actually got the Murasama. All those feats up until then were without the Murasama blade, but it was still a high frequency blade. But the Murasama was like the amp he needed to even be able to fight on par with Armstrong. Probably the strongest guy in the game, and that Excelsius mech was 9,000 tons in size. Raiden literally picked it up, overpowered it, and dual wielded it with its own high frequency blade. Armstrong should be stronger than that because he was overpowering Raiden quite badly in their fight. It's implied he can increase his stats by unleashing nanite machines. So this is the thing that's impressive about Armstrong. He said, destroying a high frequency blade with your bare hands defies every core of tenet of modern physics. Yet,
Nice, nice.
This dude Armstrong literally broke one of his high-frequency blades. That's before the Murasama.
That strength is simply astounding. He is at least your match, if not more. You appear to have a speed advantage, but even a single blow from him could prove fatal.
This lets you know how strong Armstrong is. Seems to have the actual strength advantage over Raiden. Considering what Raiden just did, that's insanity. This probably might be the one guy that has got his number when it comes to raw strength. But obviously, he gets the W on him because he gets the new Murasama blade.
In any case, against such force, I should think that parrying is the best you can hope for. However, this could make counter-attacking even more difficult.
Remember that Excelsius mech I keep on bringing up? That 9,000-ton mech I keep bringing up? Tell me why an explosion from that mech hit Armstrong.
Die, you piece of... I think we're about done here.
He's literally not even affected at all. Don't worry, I'll be back to him in a second. Raiden is ridiculously strong, but he's fought a lot of different things throughout the game. These little fast, wolf-bladed, doggy mechs here, for example. This is before the Murasama, by the way. Look at the speed reaction time. Catches the blade. Cyborg ninja, baby. You know when you're powerful where they gotta summon minions to help you out. Too strong, as you can see. Slice it up. Get out the freaking way.
I am Mistral, the cold wind of France.
None of them seem to be a true match for Raiden, other than Armstrong, I would say. But they're still strong. See what I'm saying? Overpowers her in skill, strength. That didn't go too well. See what I'm saying? Uses his intellect here, and then that didn't go well with the slicing up like butter. Monsoon, another opponent he had to fight in the game. Yeah, he's fought several people that was on his level. Like, these people just look absolutely insane. These different cyborgs. Cyborg ninja. Like I said, some of them gave him some issues, like in this occasion here. Had to overpower him physically, so they're pretty freaking strong. I want to see another game with these two in it. Sam as well, another being that's on his level or pretty close, right? But Raiden is the star, obviously. But yeah, when you like to see more games, PS5 maybe, let's pray. Out of all the people this dude Raiden has fought, this dude Armstrong gave him the hardest time, even in the cutscenes, so it is a part of the lore and it's not a game mechanic. Multiple times showing just brute strength, no blade or nothing. Raiden actually needed the blade for an advantage here. Nano machines here, as you can see, turning his body black. Look at that. This is right after the time Raiden literally fought that giant Excelsius 9,000-ton mech. Armstrong seems to be stronger than Raiden, meaning that he should be stronger than that giant mech. It's funny that even though it's a game mechanic, even in the game mechanic part before you got the Murasama, Armstrong seems to just be eating through his attacks without even being staggered, like super armor off a fighting game. Like, it literally seems like he can't do nothing. Like,
Nice, nice. Typical politician is lining your own pockets.
even though Armstrong is implied to have the strength advantage, Raiden is not a fleet in comparison. Even without the blade, he's still able to hold his ground and skills to be able to kind of hold his own still without getting one shot at a curb stomped.
Approval rating! You've got no principles! Just like all the rest!
Words ruled by strength, not committee. Where the law changes to suit the individual.
Here, for example, he doesn't seem to be able to break out the grip.
The people! Burn it down! Armstrong! But now... You're going down!
Armstrong seems to have enough attack power to be able to produce massive shockwaves and big old digs from the ground from his punches. Just so that Armstrong can lift up the same stuff that Raiden can pick up, lifts up a piece of the L6 arm. After wearing him down, Raiden, with the Mirror Samo, is finally able to pierce all the way through Armstrong after a whole bunch of blows, trying in the process. I would say basically surpassing his limits, wouldn't you say? But that's just about going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Have you played these games? I would definitely recommend you play these. Let me know in the comments below if you've played Metal Gear Rising. Is freaking Raiden a freaking beast and monster or what? You guys' love on my channel and views and support, positive feedback, make sure you hit a like, check out those playlists so you can binge watch more stuff like this. Hopefully I see you more on my channel and this is not the last time I see you here. I'll see you later, guys. Respect Raiden. Maybe we'll get a Metal Gear Solid Rising, a sequel or something with Raiden again with PS5 or Xbox Series X level graphics, but that's none of my business.